In the middle of a trial in New York, a juror has a question. Can they raise their hand and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Witness, could you explain what you just meant by that?" Can they do that? Would you like to learn the answer? Come join me as I share with you this great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. So now, whether it's a medical malpractice trial or an accident trial or even a wrongful death trial, during the course of trial, jurors will inevitably have questions. So if a juror has a question during the middle of trial, during the middle of testimony, can they simply raise their hand and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Witness, can you explain what you meant by that?" Or can they turn to the defense attorney and say, "Excuse me, counselor, can you have your witness re-explain something? I didn't understand that." Or can they raise their hand and yell out to the judge, "Hey, judge, could you do me a favor? I didn't understand what the witness said. Can you ask them to re-explain that?" The answer is, they might be able to do some of those things. They might be able to do none of those things. And let me explain. Every judge has different rules for his or her courtroom. In New York, every judge controls how the process works. So now, the jurors are told that if they have a specific question after they're now back in the jury room, they can always write a note to the court, to the judge, knock on the door, and hand it to the court officer who will then give it to the judge. There are some judges in New York who tell the jurors, listen, if you have questions, raise your hand, write a note down, specifically what the question is, give it to the court officer in the middle of trial, and now hand it up to the court. Or there will be other times where the judge will tell the jurors, listen, write down whatever questions you have, and at the end, after the witness has finished testifying, but before they leave, now raise your hand, tell the court that you have questions that you need to get answered. Now here's the process. We now give it to the court officer gives it to the judge then reads it, then will confer with the attorneys, and now determine whether or not that type of question or questions are appropriate. And in some instances, if the question is appropriate, the judge will be the one asking the question, rather than the juror blurting out and asking whatever question they have. So there's an entire different process for every single judge in every court in New York involving civil cases, for medical malpractice matters, for accident matters, for wrongful death matters. I realize you're watching this because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, again, if your matter happened here in New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. This is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.